These last couple of weeks have been very slow for Liverpool in the transfer market. Fabinho has officially left, according to a source out of Saudi Arabia. You can see the tweet on the screen. Henderson obviously has left this past week. With this move going through, a lot of people are speculating that Liverpool will officially go in and put in a bid for Romeo Lavia. I will say that I saw a quote from Jurgen Klopp earlier today that stated that they are working on, quote, midfield solutions. I was set to wake up today for the Liverpool-Leicester City game, but it was at like 5 a.m. my time. So missed that, unfortunately. Watch the highlights. Liverpool looked really good. Let's look at some of those stats real quick. 26 shots to Leicester City's 8 is Leicester City. So don't forget that. Obviously, this is the starting lineup that Leicester City had. As you can see, Hermansen, new goalie, Pereira, Castagna, Vestergaard, never heard of Doyle, Mark Albrighton and Harry Winks in midfield, and Ndidi, Dewsbury Hall, McAteer, and Daka. It's not necessarily the most inspiring team, but a 4-0 win is a 4-0 win. And not only was it a 4-0 win, but there were goals from Darwin Nunez and Diogo Jota, which are always good to see. I think that up until this game, many Liverpool fans believed that Darwin Nunez and Jota were the backups, so to speak, to Diaz and Gakpo. Diaz and Gakpo seemed like they had, set their, positions in place for themselves, and they had pinned down a starting spot in the squad. But Darwin Nunez and Jota are doing really well. So with all that, I mean, one can only assume that there's going to be some pretty good things that come as a result. Bobby Clark and Ben Doak also both got goals. Ben Doak's was a header, surprisingly, off a corner. Very good Soboslai corner at that. Matip headed it on to Ben Doak, who put it into the back of the net with a header. And Bobby Clark had a really good, clean, tidy finish for his goal. So very exciting, very promising. Totally outpassed Leicester City by a country mile, both in accurate passes and in total passes. Dominated in terms of shots. Only 2 saves needed to be made. Liverpool made 25 substitutions. Let's see. Is there like a... Yeah, we could look at the match events. That number's got to be off, right? Yeah, no way that number's right. 25. Is that like total subs available? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. That number's totally got to be wrong. But I'm looking for a possession stat here. There's got to be one, but one would assume that possession was also dominated. I didn't watch the entirety of the match back, just the highlights. But there is another big story that I need to talk about before I continue with Romeo Lavia, and that's Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe, highly, highly speculated to be leaving PSG this summer. There was links to Saudi Arabia with Al Hilal. He has turned down those offers. He has basically said, no, I don't want to go to the Saudi Pro League as I'm entering my physical and career prime. But this story kind of popped up out of nowhere. Obviously, if you're a Liverpool fan, you followed the club closely, you'll know that John W. Henry, before the switch to PSG, took a young Kylian Mbappe on a jet ride with his family, a private jet ride, John W. Henry's private jet, him being John W. Henry being the owner of Liverpool, if you weren't aware. He took him on a private jet ride around Monaco, I suppose, while Kylian was playing at Monaco, and tried to sway him, and nothing came as a result. But this story kind of... I don't want to get excited about this. I don't think Kylian Mbappe will join Liverpool. That is my stance. That will always be my stance, and I'll communicate that stance to you guys and gals until something clearly shifts. Like, this isn't a clear enough shift, but this is something to consider. This is a Talk Sport article here that will hopefully not play any audio, but it isn't necessarily this is a terrible article, I just gotta say, but ESPN. None of these are going to be. Whoa, what is this? Daily Mail 46 minutes ago. Hold up. Is this just updating stuff? This is probably just like an update, right? 212. Ooh, okay. Nottingham Forest in for Matt Turner. Kind of crazy. Arsenal might get David Raya. And then all the Rasmus Højlund stuff. That's all just pretty wild. Davidson Sanchez may be leaving. I mean, I don't see. Okay. More than King Charles's coronation, the bid. I need to look up Mbappe. Mbappe. Okay. So let's see when this was broke. When this story broke. July 29th. So this was yesterday. This is from yesterday. I just can't. I can't for a reasonable second believe this. I know all the newspapers, all the journalists are reporting it. Even what is this? Okay, so this is on Metro, but this is on Liverpool's official site. See, this is weird. Okay, reproducer media does not. Okay, fair. But once again, I'll say it for the umpteenth time. This move will not happen. Liverpool do not have the funds. Liverpool need to strengthen at defensive mid. I would assume that some sort of loan fee would be in question here because this is the best player in the world, in my humble opinion. I know people will say Haaland deserves the Ballon d'Or. Valid. I do think this past season Haaland probably does deserve the Ballon d'Or. Despite that, Kylian Mbappe is the best player in the world, and he wants to go to Real Madrid. It's not a secret to anybody. That is where he wants to play, and it makes sense. It's fair, and as a fan, I respect it. I mean, fair enough. You want to play at Real Madrid? That's cool. But as soon as Liverpool enter the fray in these discussions, as soon as any English club enters the fray, it's always Liverpool. And quite frankly, I just can't buy into it. I would gratefully take on Mbappe, even if it meant a season-long loan and him going to Madrid at the end of the season, because that could just be, especially with the new COP, with the amount of shirts you could sell, the amount of seats you can sell, Liverpool will make a lot of money on that deal, regardless. But Kylian Mbappe, him coming to Liverpool, I would want him to stay there for a bit as a fan. A loan deal, though, isn't the worst idea, but depending on how the wages are, we know that Liverpool are operating under financial restraint and constraints. But on top of all that, Fabrizio Romano has effectively stated no club has effectively made a proper move. You know, there's still the belief on PSG's end that the deal is done with Real Madrid. So they are trying to figure out something that would financially benefit them this summer. A loan move would be one of those things. I mean, if you can't sell him this summer to anybody, you might as well loan him for the season, you know, free up a lot of wages, maybe get like 15 to 25, maybe 30 mil for a season's worth of Kylian Mbappe, and bada bing, bada boom, you got another player. My only concern is, obviously, Liverpool has a lot of players that play at the left wing and striker position. Gakpo, Jota, Nunez all can play in both, and then you have Diaz as well. Throw in Mbappe, that's 5 players. I know Kylian Mbappe prefers to play on the left wing, but he did start at AS Monaco as a striker and right winger. So potentially, you know, he could play at right wing if Salah were to go to AFCON or down the line, but I don't see this move as a long-term move. This would be a very short-term kind of injection towards Liverpool's attack for a season. And I mean, if it was up to me, I would do it, but I don't know the financial stipulations of the club currently or just who else they're interested in, because obviously interest in Romeo Lavia is very high, but this move wasn't going to get done until Fabinho left the club. Effectively, that kind of cash flow needed to occur for Liverpool to be able to go on and put this bid in, which is a little annoying as a Liverpool fan. For basically 2-3 seasons now, we've been hearing nonstop, you know, oh, Liverpool is going to have a war chest in the summer. They're going to have so much money to work with. And it's always like never the case. It's always players have to go for players to be bought. It's a buy to sell. And it's been, we've been led on as Liverpool fans to believe, oh, no, the club is self-sustainable. And I honestly do think that's the case. I'll take the opposite stance of this, because I am personally of the belief that if FSG can't finance the club, if they can't take Liverpool to the next level where Liverpool is consistently in the Champions League, consistently buying the best players in the world, that they should sell or seek significant investment. However, with all that, I do understand that expanding the stadium is going to cost a lot of money, and the final touches are there. And one would assume that those loans are either not paid off or being paid off and will be paid off in the short to near future. So basically within a year or two, all those loans that were taken out to finance the stadium will be paid off by the amount of people coming in and just general performances. One would hope and one would expect. But besides Romeo Lavia, who do I think Liverpool could be interested in? There's been links to Andre Trindade at, I believe, Palermo in Brazil. Besides that, it's really silent. And I hate to not be making content around Liverpool when stuff is occurring, but genuinely, there's just nothing to talk about. And to end the video, I'll just kind of give my quick thoughts on some more probable or confirmed moves. Rasmus Højlund, 60 mil. I think he would have been a great signing for like 35, 40, right? But 60, it's a little tough. I mean, he could be an amazing player for Erik ten Hag and for Man United. I will hold my reservations. I've honestly never seen him play, but 60 mil for a player that hasn't scored a ton of goals in the last couple seasons, it's a little shaky, especially when that player is a striker. Who else has made a switch? David Raya is heavily linked to Arsenal. And I believe that would be a interesting move, honestly. Arsenal would be really stacked in that. Because David Raya, I would say, was one of the top 3-4 best goalies last season, arguably. And you look at some of the performances and just his overall quality and his ceiling, and it makes sense why Arsenal would want him. And honestly, that would be very good competition for Ramsdale. Depending on the fee, that could be an amazing transfer. They don't really need a player like David Raya. If they do sell Matt Turner, then they would, but it's tough to say. It's hard for me to, truly make a claim on that until I see a transfer fee, because regardless of the transfer fee, you have Ramsdale, who's your number one, but at the same time, if you splash a lot of cash on David Raya, I would assume maybe 30, 40 mil is the expected asking price. That might be a bit of an overpay. And yeah, there's latest done deal. So let's just look at this. Obviously, Alan St. Maximin has completed his switch to Al Ali. He's going to be playing with Mahrez and Firmino. That is like one of the best front lines in the world just already, which is crazy. Karim Rekic made a switch to... Wow, man. He made a switch to the United Arab Emirates Pro League. That's crazy. Dang, that's wild. Icardi has gone to Galatasaray. Nico Gonzalez left Barcelona for Porto. I did not know that. That's pretty interesting. Any big other fees? Malcolm has completed his switch to Al Hilal. That was another big link. Fulham signed Calvin Bassey. I did not see that. Good for Fulham. I knew that was a link, but I didn't know that was completed. Chukwueze has gone to AC Milan. Yeah, this is some interesting transfers all around. Not gonna lie. This guy made 2 moves. What is going on here? What? Boca Juniors to Tigre to Genoa. I'd have to look into that, but I don't care enough at the moment. The Neo to Rangers. Interesting. Okay. I actually just packed his rookie card. Stay tuned for that card opening. Should be coming out shortly. But besides that, nothing more to talk about. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like and subscribing. Comment below, what transfers have I missed? Do you think Kylian Mbappe will make the inevitable or potential loan switch to Liverpool this season? Or do you think that is just like a fantastical story? Also, what do you think about Romeo Lavia? Who else would you want Liverpool to sign in midfield? Because I think everybody sees that Liverpool needs probably 2 more midfielders as like DMs, kind of sixes. But besides that, let me know what you think about the video, the transfers, the rumors, and let me know what I missed. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. I'm Sideline Sato. Peace.